Welcome back. We now will have our Technology and You session. This will be done by Talon Harris from Utah and Lacey Phibbs from Colorado. They're both currently second-year osteopathic medical students, but they both went through the Colorado MSBS program. And so I will turn the time over to them and their great expertise.
Good morning. Do you mind if I take the screen over, Vi?
Please.
Let's see if this works. Okay, can everyone see my screen? So yeah, like Vi said, my name's Talon, and then we have Lacey also on the call with us. And this is gonna be a lot of information at once. So we have this PowerPoint, we'll have it available for you in a few minutes so that you can refer to it. And then this is also being recorded so that if you have any questions. And then also feel free to write in the chat. We'll have Lacey mostly on the chat today. She'll be able to stop me, to slow down, or to ask any questions you might have. So, and then we want to give thanks to these other wonderful students that helped prepare this PowerPoint that was used in the COM orientation. And it's just been modified a little bit. So, yeah, goals for today. Everything IT, every resource you're going to ever use on campus, at least the most common ones. And then just an FYI, if you're ever on campus and need the Wi-Fi password, here's the Wi-Fi password for each respective campus. And this is just a quick look at all the different things we're going to look at today. You've probably heard of most of these through your orientation, but just in case, this is just, again, your reference, your login, and kind of what this is used for. And then these are just another reference page of different bookmarks that we've made for reference. And then, so let's get to it. I'm not sure what you've been told already today, so forgive me if I'm gonna double up on what someone's already said. But some Zoom etiquette I wanted to just talk about really quick is, like, you know, when you come into a meeting, make sure you're muted, your camera's on. Be there a few minutes early. If you do need to talk, there's a little raise your hand button, or just go ahead and kind of interrupt the professor if you need to. Kind of pretend like that you're in a classroom setting when you're on Zoom. So try not to eat, try to stay in a quiet place. And then one thing, again, if this is new to you, the chat feature ends up being public to the owner. So if you have a private chat to somebody, just be aware that there is no privacy in the IT world, so everything is made known. So kind of just treat it like you were in a real classroom, what you'd say to someone else, to the professor. And then it is really fun to make jokes, but sometimes that blows up the chat and kind of throws off the professor. So just kind of be aware of that. Let's see. And then one more thing, if you know John Krasinski, you'll kind of get this reference that he was known for being professional on top and business on top and casual on the bottom in his show that he did. But as you know by now, that the MSBS is really honing in on professionalism, and at first glance, you all look very professional today. So just a reminder that dress as though you're on campus. And then if you feel like reading more Zoom etiquette, that's for your reference. Okay, iClicker. I'm hoping that you've seen iClicker at some point in your orientation. Go ahead and log into it right now. I'll give you a few minutes to pull it up on your phone. Let me know if this is the first time you've ever heard of iClicker, and I can talk about it more, but I'm just assuming that you've downloaded it on your phone at some point. You're gonna give me a thumbs up or something. You've heard of this before? Great. So go ahead and log in and join in my class, MSBS class 2021 orientation. How many attendees are there, Vi? Roughly.
There's roughly 59 students.
Okay, so we're about 22. I don't know if you can see my link up here, but there's about 22 of us. I'll wait till we get a little bit more. Oh, there we are.
If anyone's having a hard time getting in, please privately chat if you feel more comfortable about that. And the chat to Lacey Phibbs. She can assist you with that.
It looks like some people are just making accounts too. So it might just take a minute for them to make them.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and do that while we talk. You'll have this presentation soon, but we can just, if someone wants to throw that in the chat, just to get there when you get there. But yeah, iClicker Reef, there's probably a free trial for a week, but you will have to pay for it at some point. So if you feel like doing that today, just kind of keep that in mind. And we'll get back to it in a little bit. But we got a lot of people there, 46. So I'll keep going. So I think Lacey's going to talk about this first part about Microsoft Office. You should have access to this, and then I will pick up again after Lacey's done.
Sure. So yeah, here's the link to your office.com, which is basically going to be your hub for most things. Your calendar, your email, all of our student events are on the calendar as well. And then this is also where you can access Teams, which is a large platform that we use at Rocky Vista. So I'll go over that in a little bit of detail. So for starters here, if you're logging into your email, I'm sure a lot of you guys have already done this, but you're going to put the information that was sent to you along with your password and click sign in for your email. This is what the front email page will look like, and I recommend bookmarking this page just so that you guys have easy access to it and you don't have to go through all those steps to actually get to the email portion of Office. Yeah, definitely add your picture. Nice picture, Talon. I would add your picture here so that when you're communicating with professors, they can put a face to your name, especially now that we're all remotely learning. And then if you click up here in this top left corner, you can access all the other applications that Office provides. And we're going to go over the calendar next, but I would bookmark this page as well because this kind of has all of your apps in one spot that you can get to, including Teams, or if you're working on like a shared Word document with somebody in your class, you can do that all through these apps.
Oh, sorry, I'm not sure why that one came on first, but.
And so your schedule is going to look a little different than this. This is from the COM. This is actually from the first years. But basically, this is to orient you to the terminology used. So you'll have typically first the course title and then the subtype. So this is histology for MSK. So you might have anatomy and then histology. Whether it's a lecture or a lab will be by the type, and then you'll have the actual course lecture title and the professor and where they're located. Just make sure that you have the student activities clicked, as well as your specific MSBS calendar, so that you have access to all the things going on through Rocky Vista. And if you have any questions about that, like if you don't have access to your calendar yet, sometimes there's just some glitches in getting it sorted out. So you can privately message me as well, and we can work to get those enabled for you. You're going to take over now?
Yeah, so this is
okay,
sorry, let's try and, this is my first time working this, so let's see how this goes. So if you're on iClicker, go ahead and pull it up. Let's see, okay, and I should be able to do this. Okay, so if you do have access if you don't have access to your calendar, don't worry about it. But if you do have access, go ahead and access your calendar and try and tell me the first name of your first class on Monday morning. So the name of the class, what time does it start, and give me your responses. Hey, Lacey, does on your side of the thing, can you see the video picture on the top right of the screen that I'm circling? Or is that hidden? Is your face on the screen?
Sorry, do that one more time.
From
Yeah.
what you can see me circling your face.
I don't see my face. I just see your screen with the eye clicker and then yeah.
And then if I pop
I don't
up,
see any.
does the chat pop open if I pull it up? Can you see? Can you see that on my screen?
No, I don't see the chat either.
Okay.
So.
Okay, we're almost there. Got 45 responses. We'll let a couple more trickle in. We'll kind of we'll end it here, and we'll have some more opportunity to do iClicker. So I think this is how it works. Oh, sorry about the no access yet. We'll work on that one. But looks like most of everyone got microbiology. Is Colorado? Not sure what this is about. Maybe I had micro at 1 o'clock, but maybe it's changed. At one point, I remember anatomy at 9 a.m., but nonetheless, everyone kind of gets an idea of where it is. So maybe there's something I don't know, but whoops, let's get rid of this. This is what I had for the Utah campus. Colorado might be totally different schedule, but at least for the Utah campus, this is what I had. Different times. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Everyone's kind of got that. So now I'll let Lacey take over and talk about teams.
Talon, Lacey, do you
Hi.
mind if I just pop in real quick?
Yeah, please.
So the schedules are the same between Colorado and Utah, and the answer is micro at 1 o'clock. For those of you that are in a different time zone, I don't know exactly what you need to do to absolutely make sure that you are on time for classes, but please make sure to do so. So, and if you are seeing anatomy, please email Courtney. So yeah, sorry, I just wanted to get that straight, that the schedules are indeed the same.
Good to know. Yeah, I did not anticipate that time zone issue, so that's good to know. Okay.
And just to address a couple questions in the chat too,
Yeah.
it looks like a couple people that were having difficulty figured it out. Sorry. Glad you did. And then somebody was curious about an app for the desktop. I don't think that's supported right now through Rocky Vista. I think it's just the web version, but you can get the app for your phone to have your email and calendar. So. All right, and then I guess we'll move on to Teams. So this is where you're going to have a lot of communication regarding tutor resources. So you have a separate tutor hub there. And then also all academic communication. So if you want to ask a question about a course or something you don't understand, you can ask your peers here, which is great. Sometimes professors create their own channels as well. So you can possibly use those. It just kind of depends. And then of course you can feel free to email them. So. All right, so for starters here, we're gonna click on Teams on the Office 365 homepage. And then it should bring you to another screen where you can actually download. So the Teams is one of the few apps I do have a desktop app for. For some reason, that one works for me on a Mac. So I'm not sure. I think it's more just a shortcut to the web version that you can download rather than a separate actually like app. But this is, so on Teams, we have a whole frequently asked questions section that we put together for you guys. Some of the biggest ones that people are usually struggling with are turning on or off notifications, joining a team. And so those are all here in the PowerPoint, but they're also posted on the actual Teams campus pages for you guys. So I did want to talk briefly about two boxes that we use on Teams that you will have access to as well. So the SGA suggestion box is one that is found on either the Colorado campus page or the Utah campus page. So depending on what campus you're a part of, that would be on your main Teams screen. So for that, if you click up on the top here, it'll bring you to the SGA suggestion box. This one is used predominantly for any concerns you have about general life at RVU, I guess. So any questions or concerns that you might have, and this one is anonymous as well. And these go directly to SGA and we discuss them on a weekly basis. And then this year, we also implemented a curriculum feedback box specifically so that if there are curriculum questions or you have feedback about a current course, you can go ahead and fill that in. You'll be doing course evaluation still through the MSBS program, but if you do have any questions or concerns, you can always drop them in this curriculum feedback box, and I can kind of put them in the right direction. So those will be on your actual class page. So I just added them to the MSBS. This is where it is on the 2024 academic, but it'll be at the top of your campus academic page as well. So to actually join or create a team, you can click on the top right corner. So when you actually open up your team's page and click teams, this is where you're going to see all the teams that you are a part of, and then you can join or create your own. Just make sure that you have your channel notifications on for all of your courses, current courses, and your campus pages as well. So you'll want to hover over, click on all activity, and it's not set to do that normally. So just make sure that you are going in and changing it for the channels that you're a part of.
Okay, I'll take over here, Lacey.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that some of you can access your email by now and access Teams the way we showed you. Go ahead and open Teams, and you should have been added to your respective campus team. So go ahead and open Teams and look for this team, and I will pull it up on my end so that you can see what it looks like. And then I think the question is going to be yes or no. Oops. Gosh. So I will show you what I mean. So go ahead and pull up Teams and try and find it while I figure this out. And I guess once you find your team, let's see, I put it under the general tab, general class, and then at the very top, there's a thing called files. And this PowerPoint should be in PDF and PowerPoint form right there. And both campuses have that right there. Okay, looks like we're almost there. Try to submit input. Um, Kaylee, I'm not sure what submitting input means. If that means if you're talking about iClicker or I'm looking at the chat. I'm at the PowerPoint, but I'm not sure how to submit inputs. If you could clarify that for me.
Somebody else has a problem with that too, Talon.
Is this input on iClicker?
Yeah, so for the second question, it looks like.
That might be a problem on my end, but as long as I can get into iClicker, I think that's great.
Yeah, and if you can join the class, you should be okay. It might just be a settings thing. Talon and I are not iClicker experts.
Yeah. So don't worry if you can't log in. That's not a big deal. But it'll work for your professors. Okay, so it looks like most people have gotten into Teams. So I will keep going on the PowerPoint and then ask Lacey or anyone if you need some help with that. I'll get back to here. Okay, so we're all in Teams and we are going to do this. Okay, so you have your team and then there should be another team that you've been added to called MSBS Tutor Hub. I want you to open that and go to the general page. And if you, for some reason, weren't added to that team, there's a link here to join it. But this is the team to join, and then go to this first page, and then oops. And then the question is, what is the name of the Physiology 1 tutor? So go to this tutor hub, scroll down here, and find the name of the tutor. And I will start another poll. I'll end that one. And I'll start another poll. Oops. So if you have any questions, I'm going to show you on my screen what it looks like. Go into the tutor hub, this general. And then up at the top, there should be meet the tutors. And then as you scroll down, here should be all the names of all the tutors that you have. So go ahead and find me the Physiology 1 tutor. And just let me know, Lacey, if I'm missing something in the chat.
Right now, it looks good. It seems like 1 or 2 people don't have access to the Teams page, so I think I can go ahead and give that to them because you may be an owner, so I should be good to do that.
Okay. Yeah, and we'll have, we can help with this after too. This is not the last time we can help you with this. Okay, so we've got about 50 people. And we all figured that out. So good. So we know where to access. So if you have any tutor help or need any help with a certain class, you'll probably learn more about it, but this is just how you access it through Teams. Great. Then My Vista, in case you probably have seen this by now, but My Vista, go ahead and open up this link if you want to follow along with me. If you go to the link, it'll take you to the home page where you will have your username, your 6-digit student ID, and then your password. I'm just going to assume that you've done this by now or have access to this, and someone can help you with. I'm not sure who can help you, but if you don't know your ID number, someone can help you. Once you log in, there's a lot of things you can do here, but bookmark this page, click on the Students tab, and once you click on the Students tab, you'll be able to access your courses. Kind of on this right-hand side, you should have, these are medical school, these are the medical schools courses, but you'll have MSBS in your respective courses. So My Vista, students, and then as you click on one of these courses, this one, for example, it'll open you up into the course page on My Vista. And this takes some time to get used to, but hopefully this PowerPoint can help you walk through it later. So as you open up your class, you should have all the information you'll need about your class. And your professors usually, well, as it says, the syllabus will be there. And then if you click on course materials, this is a link to the media site, which we'll talk about in a minute if you want to watch the video. But most importantly, lecture handouts, or maybe there's another name for this, depends on the professor, but usually it's called lecture handouts. And this is where you will find all your PowerPoints for your classes that day. So looks like you don't have anything yet for your classes, but when you go to class, you'll be able to access your PowerPoints for the week. So I'll give you a minute to practice soon, but just want to make sure we get to this point. So lecture handouts, and then with every class, the professors will make announcements through it. So if you click on the home page for each class, click on announcements. And then if you click on subscribe, you will be subscribed to get emails for all the announcements that professors make. And you have to do this for every class that you have. So that's really important to do. And then we'll do another quick practice iClicker. If you can, I just want to know, whoops. I'm not sure if this is up yet on My Vista, but I want you to try and access your My Vista and see if you can locate the first PowerPoint for your micro lecture on Monday. So go ahead and practice that. This is probably the most important skill coming into school next week, is learning how to figure this out. And I will pull it up on my end if you have any questions.
Seems like a lot of people in the chat don't see the courses yet.
Okay.
I'm wondering if maybe that's an IT, like granting access thing.
Yeah, Dr. Town, I don't know if are the classes up yet on My Vista for the MSBS?
Yes, they are, but we are adjusting them. We've been having a little bit of issues. So everything will be ready, hopefully by Friday.
Cool. So then, don't worry about answering that question then. Oops. But as long as you can get into My Vista and know where your classes should be, it'll be ready by when you need them. So go ahead, and this is kind of what it looks like. You can get through it by My Courses, your class, and then your PowerPoint should be there. Don't worry about answering this one. And you'll have this PowerPoint to reference for future use. And lastly, when you're on My Vista, if you have any questions for IT, Colorado and Utah have their own respective IT teams. But go ahead and on this main page, click on the help desk. And here is their information, Utah and Colorado. They are really good. They're really quick to respond. So within 15, 20 minutes, usually they're always on top of things. So go to them for help if you need any questions. This next website we want to talk about is called Media Site. It's another one of those bookmark pages. So go ahead and open this up. And Media Sites is where you are going to find all of the lectures you'll ever have are recorded. So it looks like this all your orientation sessions are recorded. So you'll find these on Media Site. So go ahead and open this up, and you will sign in with your first name, period, your last name, and then your password, and then it's whatever password you use for Office. And I will pull it up here. So once you sign in, it should look something like this. And then on the side, you're going to have an MSBS Class of 2021 tab. And obviously, there's nothing there yet. But obviously, as your classes get in, you will have access to it. So if you were a medical student, you could open up your class and you choose your subject on the left-hand side. Let's say it's MSK. And then this is really great. You can rewatch the lecture that you had live, or you can download the audio to it if you have a commute or for whatever reason you want to listen to it. So these are cool. These are both great options. I figured you can figure this out once you do have classes. So this is very helpful. You can speed up or slow down the video and just rewatch your lectures if you need to. I'm going to assume that was okay, and we'll keep going for the sake of time. I'm going to go to the RVU Anatomy page. This one, again, probably just for reference for right now. It'll make sense once you get into anatomy, but here's the website for the anatomy website. And then you need a password. This is the password. And do not share this with anyone. I'll let the anatomy professors tell you more, but as we have pictures of cadavers and videos of cadavers out of legality and respect, we do not share this. This curriculum is RVU specific, and we do not share it on any other platform. So you'll hear more about that. But this is where, if you have any questions, if you have any questions on your checklist or dissection videos, I'm not sure how anatomy is going to be run right now, but most likely there will be a resource on this website that you can use. So once you get to the website, type in the password, and then all the different parts of the body are organized on this left-hand side. So let's say your first class is back, and you will be given a dissector. Actually, ignore this dissector one. You'll be given a checklist, and that'll have all the different body parts that you'll be expected to learn. Now, this one is a medical school one. The master's list is usually more condensed, so your anatomy professors will give one to you, give you a shortened copy. But this is just the master copy if you ever need it. And then for each subject, there's also a video that you can watch if that's something that you need or could help you. And that's basically it. There's some more things you can look at on these root words and drawings and stuff, and I'll let your anatomy people tell you more of that. But just, this is the website, and have that for your reference for when you get to anatomy. Another website we talk about is ExamSoft. You will have a whole meeting next week on how to use ExamSoft and Examplify, but this is basically the place where we take our test, the programs that we take our tests with. So if you go to ExamSoft, the website, you'll use your same student ID, the number that you use earlier, and then your same password. And then you'll hit on your courses up here. And once you take a test, you'll be able to see if your test uploaded properly, and then your grades and stuff. And this is where everything will be. Office of Testing will tell you more specifics on how to download and what to download, and make sure your computer runs right. So my job is just to show you that this website is here and that we use it to manage our test scores or to look at them. Again, mostly just for reference. You will get very familiar with Examplify. And this one's really important. So maybe if you follow along with me, follow along with this one. This is the INET. This is a place where if you ever need a form to fill out, an excused absence, or reserve a room on campus, if you choose to come to campus, if you fill out an attestation form, this is the website that you will use. So bookmark this page, open it up. So as you go to this is what the main page looks like. And as you'll log in with your same first name, period, last name, your password, just like everything else. And then these are some really good videos. If you do need to come to campus, for each campus, there's a video for you. This is a video on how to enter the campus, and then how to enter and access the library. If you ever need to come to campus, just hold on to these videos and watch them then, because they will walk you through every step you need. And they are very, very good. But a quick summary on what these videos talk about is when you get to the INET, on the top page, there should be a student tab. And then it'll give you this form. And there's lots of, if you ever need a form, like I mentioned, click on forms. And here's all the forms you'd ever need for anything. If you need something to fill out, it's probably on here. And you'll see that some of these are Utah specific, Colorado specific, and some of these don't even apply to the masters. So, but every once in a while, you'll need an excused absence form, or yes, here's the MSBS one. So just keep this on the back of your mind if you ever need a form. And the most important form that you'll need, if you come to campus, is, I'm going to skip ahead for a minute, is on this main page. This one's called the Communicable Disease Screening Attestation Form. This is, you'll just have to fill this out every day that you come to campus. On the day of, you need to fill this out, and you'll probably hear more about this or have already heard about it. So if you do come to campus, as of now, I think both campuses have an option to reserve a room. And that's what those videos talk about that I showed you here. These will tell you how to reserve a room on campus. So on that same homepage, here's the Utah one and the Colorado one. Again, just kind of keep these in the back of your mind for reference for reserving a space on campus. And those videos.
Can I just,
Yeah,
sorry, I just want to interrupt for 1 second. A lot of people, seems like in the chat, have only the home tab when they click on iNet. And I remember that happening for me at first as well, and a lot of students in the COM of 2024. And so for some reason with iNet, you have to like log out and log in multiple times to get it to sync. So try that. And if that still doesn't work, then you can email the help desk and they can give you the proper rights to see the pages.
Cool. That's great. I had no idea. Yeah, email help desk, they will help you. So again, just keep this for your reference, and then you should have the help desk information as well. Thanks, Lacey. Facebook. Facebook is a social media platform, which you've probably heard of. The school uses it to do social things. So this is with the RVU, I think the host of this is the communications team on both campuses. So there's a Southern Utah team and as well as a Colorado team. So if you haven't been added already, go ahead and find these. If you're on Facebook and want to be on it, go ahead and add these, your respective campus on Facebook. And then this is Utah specific, but there is a kind of a yard sale group. I guess if you live in Southern Utah, we all live within a 5 to 10 mile radius of each other. So this is a great group. But if you don't live in Utah, then probably don't join this group. But this is just kind of an FYI Facebook options. And then lastly, the homepage for RVU is this, and some links that you can kind of only access through the homepage is on this current students tab. There's a student affairs, print center, and the writing center, all of which are very useful and very good. And I will just briefly mention these as you can refer to this in the future on your own. So the student affairs tab here, you'll learn more next hour on how to get involved in campus clubs and opportunities. This is just a homepage, landing page for all this and all the activities that they do. So I will let you learn more about that next hour. Print Center, Print Center is actually really awesome. You should be given a certain amount of money allocated to print stuff each year. So if you ever need to print, let me skip ahead. If you ever need to print a poster for research, to present research, or to spiral bound your notes, there's a lot of cool things you can do here.
Talon, can I comment here for just a moment?
Yep, please.
This is something that I've heard many times come through, and I just want to correct the terminology a little bit, or maybe throw out different terminology. You are not given money for this, and it doesn't come out of your money, it's a credit. So the school gives you a printing credit that you can use. If you don't use that credit, it's not money you get back or can re-allot. It's just a credit, okay? Just a little clarification.
But good news on the credit, thank you, Vi, is it rolls over into the COM. So if you end up getting in the COM, you get double credit. So I have tons of credit left over from masters in first year and second year. So thanks for clarifying. But I will not get a reimbursement is what it sounds like. Sounds good. Yeah, so Print Center is great. Just keep that in the back of your mind. If you ever need to print anything, this is the place to do it. And the library, or you might hear this again later. So there's a website, log in, same credentials, and they are really quick at getting things to you. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, I think we're going to 11:25, so we have about 15-20 minutes for questions. Any questions from anybody that I can go over again, or?
It seems like a couple people are having issues with INET and the username. So make sure that you're not including, so yeah, if you could go back to that slide, Tom, thanks. Make sure you're not including @rvu.edu for your username. It should just be first name to last name. The password should be the same as My Vista. And for some reason, INET is just one of the quirkier ones to get your first login to. So if it's still not working for you, try another browser, try to exit out of that browser, open the browser back up, and then re-log in. For some reason that works too. There's a couple like, I guess, tricks there. So yeah, clear your history as well. It's a good one. Cookies, anything like that. INET is just one of the ones that's a little bit more temperamental. So if that still doesn't work, you can private message me and then we can talk to IT.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, INET.
It looks like someone also said that they used welcome1 as a password, which if this is your first time logging in, that may be an option. I didn't know about that one, but try that as well.
Well, thank you.
Please ask your questions. We want to make sure that you have access and you're very comfortable accessing Teams, finding the information. You're comfortable getting where you need to be. That will help you really hit the ground running on Monday. We don't want you to be frustrated, so please ask your questions.
Oh, Dr. Town, maybe you've already talked about this, but on the calendar, will the MSBS class have their own, like one Zoom link for the whole year? I noticed that some of the classes don't have a Zoom link. Like if I were to want to go to this class on Monday, how do they access this class?
Good question. So we will have, when they click on that class and they open it in the notes, there will be a Zoom link to be able to get to that class. Okay. And then also once, I mean, it's not there right now. We're a little bit behind this year with a lot of other things that have been happening. So, and bringing Utah on board, which is super exciting, but also, coordinating everything and making sure that both campuses are receiving equal everything. So we are going to put links in there. And then also once it's recorded, we're going to see if we can actually put the recording link in there as well to MediaSite. So we are working on that right now. Yes,
well,
thank you.
I was just thinking ahead about that.
I'm glad you asked. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to say one more time, I've gotten a couple more private messages that INET is weird, which yes, it is. So it looks like a couple people had success with the new browser. So try using Chrome and then clearing your history. It seemed to work. And then there may be some issues depending on the access. So for those of you that are still having issues, I would email IT, but I'm talking to you guys in the chat anyway. So, but just make sure that you are using a different browser for that.
Yeah, maybe Safari will work if you're on a Mac. Yeah, and I don't know why it's so weird, but I normally would say don't stress about it, but because of the attestation form, I would say that's something you should learn to access. But yeah, here's the IT information if you need more help on that. Here's the Utah, here's the Colorado. Give them a quick email and they can help you with that too. And then, yeah, if you don't have a question or if there's something you want me just to run over again that I went too fast over, just throw it in the chat and I can just talk about it again. We've got all this time.
Talon, there's some questions about Teams
Okay.
in the chat. And some of it, the first one is about the PowerPoint. Oh, maybe it's in Word. Sorry, I'm not exactly sure what Emma's question is. She can't edit a document. Emma, do you want to clarify your question?
Yeah, so when I log into Word or PowerPoint, like when we were given the slide for orientation to edit, it wouldn't allow me to actually edit. It says your access is only allowed for view only.
I think that's that specific document.
I actually can answer that question. I only gave you guys access for copies so that you all didn't edit the same slide and delete each other's stuff. So you had to save as to do the edit.
So I was able to do that for that particular document, but when I open any other document, it says it's view only.
Are you talking about the one that I uploaded?
No, across the board, I've tried a bunch of things, and if I open like a new document, it says I don't have privileges to do that.
Is that new for you with Microsoft? I know Microsoft updated and most of us lost access to it. Have you been able to do that? Have you been able to access other Microsoft documents from other people?
I haven't tried, to be honest. Yeah.
I know like last year or 2 years ago, all of a sudden my Microsoft Office stopped working. It's because my Mac updated and I had to like buy it again. So I don't know if that's a Microsoft Office issue. If you open it through Teams, I'll try and show you if you can see my screen still. You should be able to open it like I am, but you should have access for free to Microsoft Office through Teams. So if you open up anything, I'm not sure how to change. You should be able to edit things. So for my first year of med school, I didn't buy Microsoft Office. I just used Google, whatever, and I used Teams if I needed to. This year I did buy Microsoft Office again. So maybe that's the issue. If you open it through Teams, you should hopefully be able to do stuff. I'm not sure if that helps at all.
Okay, I will try that.
Yeah, sorry. Are you using a Mac?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my guess is what it is, but I'm not a pro either.
Okay.
IT is used to Mac users, giving them a call to figure out how Microsoft issues. That's been something traditionally. So if you can't figure it out, don't be afraid to reach out to them. They probably know how to manage that now. There's another question by Janelle Go. Could you go over MediaSite again? And I don't know if Janelle, if you have specific questions with that or not.
No, just like a general overview. I was trying to get to the tab, and I missed his presentation of it.
Yeah, were you able to log into it? Log into the actual website?
No, I wasn't.
I'll get to it.
I think somebody else in the chat had an issue with MediaSite, and they were saying that when they first clicked on it, it was prompting them to like sign up for a subscription. Just make sure you're clicking the link either in the PowerPoint or go directly to My Vista and then click on MediaSite so that you're getting the correct login through the RVU.
Yeah, that's a good, yeah.
So do we only have access to like the office stuff online?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the online version is not great. So honestly, for the masters in this, I use Google everything, but then if I ever needed to collaborate, I would use Teams. But I finally just bit the bullet this year and bought it because I had so many issues with it. To answer your question, it's only online. There is an online version. It's not as great, but it is better than nothing.
Okay, so that's why like the downloaded ones say that they're not activated if you're logged into them.
Probably.
The only one that I've had luck with like downloading as a desktop app is Teams, but the like email ones and stuff I haven't been able to download. And I remember IT during the comm presentation saying that wasn't an option. So.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So for those, if you still have a question on a media site, assuming you can log in, I don't think I have access to my master stuff, but you'll have whatever class you have, and then the date it was posted, and you can just rewatch the video lecture, and it's just like a normal video. And you can speed it up, slow it down, skip ahead. It's a really good reference. And then if you want to download the audio, I think you can just download the audio. Yeah, you can download it and listen to it if you feel like that helps.
Talon, could you go back to the slide that just has all of the login credentials? So like for media site, which login to use and all that, because there have been a couple of questions about
like
which
one or like the very first one?
The very first one, because it's like people have different questions based on the resource. So yeah, this one. Yep, so that'll give you, I know I got a question about media site, so which password it should be. So for that one, it would be your Office 365 first name dot last name. Sorry, I think I might have said my Vista accidentally. And then the other question I think was in regards to ExamSoft. So that one, the specific password, I'm pretty sure did we have to make a password for that, Talon? I can't actually remember.
Testing Center will go over that. Don't worry about that. They have a full hour next week on that.
Cool.
I don't remember though.
Just as a point, I managed to download all the apps on my iPad for Microsoft Office 365, and they worked perfectly. All you had to do was just log on to my RVU email.
Cool.
Yeah, they do work on iPhones and iPads to access things, but they won't work as desktop apps. The only one is MediaSite for that. But it is handy to have them on your phone to like view things. It's just kind of hard to edit them.
I also had issues with Outlook, and I had reached out to IT and they told me the same thing. But one thing they did say is that if you have Microsoft like Outlook, the desktop platform for like previous job or education that you still have access to, you can just link your RVU account and then kind of like piggyback off your subscription that way. So then you can have the like Microsoft without like paying for the educational like app one. But you also have to consider if you have it for work, if it's encrypted or not. So that's why.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I know a couple people that had access like through their institution. You kind of have to like get rid of all of that information in order for it to run directly through RVU's logins. So yeah, just be cognizant of that.
Hi. So unfortunately, I was noticing that I was having some problems with my Office 365 password, and I have kind of had that for the past couple of weeks since we got our email. And I've been talking back and forth with IT, and we had gotten the situation worked out. But basically on all the accounts that we're supposed to use our Office 365 password, it isn't recognizing me. Basically, it's saying that there's a wrong password. Is that something that I should assume has to do with IT, or is there something, I mean, is there something with the links that maybe I should do differently now? I just want to know if maybe I'm accessing the wrong links. I'm in a Word document as opposed to your PowerPoint. Does that make sense?
So just to back up, so are you able to access your email? If you go to Microsoft.com, sign in, can you access your email from there?
Yeah, I have access to the full Office suite, but using the actual, logging into MediaSite, for example, and I wasn't able to get into those.
Are you doing first name, last name, not your email address?
Yeah, I did that. And then I think for INET, someone also said to try Welcome One, and I tried that and it still didn't work.
Okay. Yeah, I'd reach out to IT then.
Okay.
Not sure. Yeah, that's an IT question.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And then, yeah, with ExamSoft, don't worry too much about that for those that have questions about it. They'll go through full detail on it next week. This is just more of an FYI for future reference.
We have about 3 minutes, so please continue to ask your questions. And then just before we're done, Lacey and Talon, if you'll put your emails in the chat so that they can reach out to you directly if you're willing to do that, as well as repeat the IT emails just at the conclusion in 3 minutes.
Talon, would you mind going to My Vista and show, or like maybe screen sharing and showing how to find MediaSite link on there?
On My Vista?
Yeah, like from My Vista, if you click on either either like course materials for the class, or you can also just go to the main page and there's usually a link there.
Yeah, so let's say my class is, what am I in right now? Marino. I've actually never done this, but if you click on course materials, this is a quick way also to access MediaSite.
And then I think also if you click on help desk, right, can't you access it through that?
Yeah, if you click, up here is the help desk, and this is the information for IT.
I think in general, if you're only having problems with like ExamSoft as your platform, they'll go over that with their testing center session. But if you are having problems accessing multiple platforms, definitely go ahead and email IT and they can help you out with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Talon.
Just to answer Cody's question, I think, actually, hold on. Cody asked, when you click on My Pages, I'm not sure where My Pages is, honestly. Click on My Courses, Cody. You should be able to see all your classes here. I've never used My Pages, but there's probably something important there. But yeah, My Courses, this is where your courses are. Or if you click on the Student tab, you can also see your courses over here. So all those are, all those are very good. Yeah, that's it, Vi.
I was going to add too, just make sure you clear your history. It looks like a lot of the things that people were having problems with, they've kind of private messaged me that I cleared my history and it worked. So definitely try that if you have it for whatever platform issues you're having.
Thank you so much, Talon and Lacey. Virtual applause. I'm so grateful for your efforts in putting this together and your diligence in answering the questions.